So we ask the students that before they come to class, they have to go ahead and do what we call pre-lecture assignments. So the pre-lecture assignments, what we've done is that they're all conceptual based. So no calculations. We use the Tell Me More videos, 2 to 3 minutes, a couple of questions, boom. They have at least a beginning knowledge of that chapter. And then I kind of give them help. So what I do is that I give them at least one time to check their work, just so that they can get used to it, just so that they can get some help. It's that confidence builder that we like to keep giving them. And then, so the next part of it is that they have exercises. So this method works classroom, online. My online students, I give them a set of maybe about 5 or 6 exercises. And then what I've done is that I've mixed them. The version 2 now brings back the guided practices, which we used to call the pull down. So if I've asked them something in a guided practice, I'm going to turn around and ask them that in the same blank sheet experience, because I want them to make that relationship. And then, so sometimes if some of the content is a little bit more difficult, I may give them a little bit more guided and then give them another exercise. So that way they're trying to make that connection themselves. And then sometimes it's also the dynamic exhibits. Sometimes the content is just let them see and move the sliding scale and answer those questions to help them understand that. And as you see, I also start limiting their check my works. So the exercises, they're gonna get 10 and then they're gonna get less and less and less. And then I also encourage them, by the time you've hit your check my work by the 4th one, especially in the exercises, now start using your resources. Use your show me how videos, email the instructor, but I put the responsibility back on them to do that. And then the next one, we have labs. So in lab class, if I have a physical lab, we walk around, I've chosen a problem, either I walk them through it or I help guide them through it. And those we use the problem set B. So those are blank sheet experience. Sometimes I do incorporate some of the guided and then some of the dynamics. So I try to use a version of everything because not everyone learns the same way. And same thing, they can submit all the assignments at least 3 times, but then they get 5 check my works. Then after that, they have their homework. So the homework is the same thing. It's going to be problem set A questions. It's information that we've already covered, all the learning objectives, and they get the same thing. They get the 3 submissions, they get 5 check my works. And then I encourage your students, since it's down to 5 now, that by the 2nd one, start using your resources. And what the benefit that I've seen out of this is, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot, put it all together. This is new. So with the V2 now, they have the mastery questions. I love those. And this, since it's new, I set it up as non-graded, but I encourage the students, after you finish your chapter, go ahead and see how you've mastered all these learning objectives. One thing I would say, would like to see with the mastery is that, if you don't teach some of the learning objectives, to be able to exclude those from the mastery. And then another thing I do for a prereq is that I encourage the students to use the adaptive study plan. I tell them, go do that before you go get any other help, tutoring, or come see me. And if they come see me before and they haven't done that, I will send them home to go do that. And this is the benefits that I saw. When we went to the V2 now, I did the pilot program of this, dramatic change. First of all, it's now a shared responsibility. So the students they have control over that. They have ownership to what they're learning. It can be, oh, I forgot to do this. No, can't. And then the students, I see now that the quality of time that they spent, they don't feel like they're spinning their wheels, because I've broken it down to where if they do the pre-lecture, maximum 2 minutes. Exercises, maximum 45 minutes. So now instead of them sitting and doing homework for 8 to 9, 10 hours, they've broken it up in small sections. And then what that helped is that it decreased our drop rate. Our online drop rate was 40 to 50%. Now it's down to 25, 30%. And now the students, if they do drop the class, they can't say, well, I'm dropping because of the content wasn't what I expected. They can't say that. It's set up that way. Every week they know what they have to do. Every assignment is there. There's no question. And one thing I tell the instructors that the flipped classroom method works, but you have to be committed to it as well. You can't commit halfway to the flipped and then turn around and say, it's not working for me. So it's all or none. And the results are there. I mean, when we started doing the blank sheet experience, 10-15% increase in grades on an exam. I mean, that's what, yeah, that's why I said Octopia, yeah. I mean, that's what that does. So that tells me that they're actually doing it. And then I can go in and I can see how much time they're spending. So I use CengageNOWv2 to allow me to show these students where they're at. If the first week of class, if they haven't signed in to CengageNOWv2, guess who's getting the email? I say, you haven't signed in to CengageNOWv2. Are you okay? Then that's when I get feedback. So I use that to make sure that they're keeping on task, because those are the students that 9 times out of 10 will drop the class. So that's how I use CengageNOWv2 to make sure I keep those students ahead.